Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ango bringing you guys some major news. We have some big stories today. Jonathan Gresham, ROH title. Also, on top of that, Kevin Owens, we know he re-signed with WWE, but how much is he reportedly getting paid? And on top of that, will he ever get released? Because that's a big question everybody wants to know. Also, we're going to cap things off in today's video talking about a new AEW signing, really big stuff coming to AEW Dynamite. So we're going to talk first about Jonathan Gresham. This seems to be a very interesting topic that not a lot of people are actually talking about, but we do know that Jonathan Gresham will actually put his title belt, the ROH World Championship belt, will be put on the line against Minoru Suzuki at GCW Blood on the Hills. Now, this is actually very big news because the match will actually be contested under ROH Pure rules. If you guys aren't familiar with that, I highly suggest you guys check it out. It's also really important to know that with ROH being gone up until roughly February, the ROH title belt is expected to be defended elsewhere. Rumors that have been suggested so far are the NWA, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. Obviously, now we know GCW will be having the title match. There's also rumors that Impact and ROH might be working together at some point. So that's going to be something we'll have to follow up on a different video as we get more details on that. Also, something that's really important to mention here, Jonathan Gresham holding the belt. A lot of people think Jonathan Gresham should be the one to usher in a new era for ROH. The real question is, will he sign somewhere exclusively? Right now, Jonathan Gresham did launch Terminus Pro, which is a grappling arts wrestling promotion. That debut is set in the middle of January. We've already covered it a little bit on this channel, but it's just something to keep in mind. Is it possible that maybe he drops the belt before ROH? Is it possible that ROH completely folds and closes down? Nobody really knows, but I really suggest everybody just get excited about this because I think the more excitement about ROH could potentially help ROH come back. I read something the other day that maybe ROH just didn't belong anymore, and I don't necessarily believe that. I think ROH had a good product. It just, there's a lot of real estate being taken up in fans' heads with AEW and WWE. So I know for a fact pro wrestling fans want it. It's a matter of how they can do it in a way where it's successful. I do want to talk a little bit about Kevin Owens re-signing with WWE. If you guys missed my previous video, I'll throw the link in the description. But I actually talked about Kevin Owens re-signing with WWE and turning down any opportunity with AEW. Now, with that being said, a day later, Dave Meltzer has come out and actually said that Kevin Owens signed a deal reportedly worth $2 to $3 million, which is absolutely insane. I mean, now Kevin Owens is literally one of the few wrestlers that are getting paid millions of dollars in WWE. I don't know specific contract terms for a lot of wrestlers. Basically, it's not really common knowledge, but, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Edge, Randy Orton, John Cena, those are some of the names that are up there in that regard. So if this is actually true, if he is in fact getting paid $2 to $3 million, I mean, that's fantastic news. The real question is, what would have AEW paid for Kevin Owens? Truthfully, if it wasn't for AEW, Kevin Owens would have never got a massive contract this big. But this also tells me that WWE will be going all in on Kevin Owens, which I hope so, right? If you're going to pay a guy top tier money, it's really important that you treat him like top tier talent. And if they don't treat him like top tier talent, then you might as well have not signed him. Now, with that being said, Meltzer also came out and said that Kevin Owens was reportedly given a no-cut clause, meaning he actually can't be released from the WWE. Now, this was something that I actually spoke about on the channel before. It was reported that Braun Strowman never renegotiated that for WWE when he signed his major contract, so WWE did end up releasing him. There's very few wrestlers on the WWE roster that have this clause. Roman Reigns, Edge, Randy Orton, a few of these are the ones that are rumored to have that clause. Brock Lesnar. Hey, if Kevin Owens has a no release clause in his contract, I mean, that's fantastic news. But again, I don't want to see WWE invest this much money into somebody that's not going to be used, because that's just ridiculous. And I really, really hope, I think Big E is doing a great job as champion, but I really hope this actually leads to a program where Kevin Owens becomes the number one heel on WWE Raw, and then we can get to a situation where Kevin Owens takes the belt off Big E, and now we can start building in some big programs with guys that are familiar. Because if you hate on WWE right now, from my understanding, Fox and NBC are both looking for WWE to start creating some more stars, which I think would be a wonderful idea. I do want to talk a little bit about Brody King and Malachi Black. If you guys are unfamiliar with the big news here, Malachi Black dropped a vignette on AEW Dynamite, and this vignette was seen all over the internet. A lot of people were talking. There was a specific line in the vignette in which he says he was no longer a king, or you aren't worth much more than a king, or something like that. Basically, if you aren't familiar, Brody King and Tommy and Malachi Black are the PWG Tag Team Champions. It has also been reported by Bodyslam.net that Brody King did in fact sign an exclusive contract with AEW. So that vignette pretty much is the first signal of Brody King coming to AEW. Now, from my understanding, AEW's plan is to actually debut Brody King during the Holiday Bash episode, which I think makes a lot of sense. I think this is a great signing. This will reportedly be the first member of House of Black. Now, keep in mind, we actually did talk about this about a month or so ago, but now it's official. So this is fantastic news. I'm really glad to see that this is happening. And I think this is really good for AEW in general. You know, if you liked Winter is Coming, that's fantastic. If you didn't like it, I understand your frustration. But also at the same time, too, bringing in some talent's going to go. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Obviously, Kyle O'Reilly's also rumored for next week. And then Johnny Gargano's pretty much not denying any sort of AEW rumors at this point in time, too. So I'm all for it. I'm really curious to see how they maneuver around some of these rumors, especially because there are so many rumored people to come to AEW. We don't know which people won't be re-signed by AEW. And I have a feeling there's going to be some names on that list that are shocking. When contracts start coming up and people don't re-sign with AEW, it's going to be really interesting to see which ones are let go or, you know, not re-signed. Now, also with that being said, Brody King and you know, Tommy and Malachi Black being together, that is fantastic news. But also, who else will be joining House of Black? There's been a lot of talk about maybe Abaddon being featured in the group. I think that could possibly work. There's been rumors about Buddy Murphy coming, even though AEW reportedly skipped out on him. There are so many rumors right now. I'll be bringing you guys the updates, so you definitely don't want to miss out on this. It's also really important that you guys check out the Discord server. If you guys check out the Discord server, we're always talking about the latest news and stuff in pro wrestling, and you know, I'm just really excited about everything that's happening. Sometimes WWE and AEW don't have the best episodes lately, but as you guys can imagine, it's not easy putting out a show 52 weeks in a year. So right now, I'm pretty satisfied with all wrestling shows. Everything could be a little bit better, but for the most part, everything's been pretty solid. So I'm excited about it. I think Malachi Black and Brody King will be exciting. The Kevin Owens news is obviously very interesting. And hey, Jonathan Gresham bringing the ROH title around some places. You never know. Maybe AEW is next. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Go ahead and drop a comment. Tell me what you guys think. I just gave you guys my 2 cents. I want to hear yours. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time right here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Peace.